What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Serie career mode. It is episode number 16, and starting today's episode off, massive news on the back of our opening day draw to Lazio and the series opener. Samardzic has just had his release clause met by the team we just drew with away, 35 million euros, and I did say when he signed that new contract, I wasn't going to stand in his way if someone met that release clause. He is a really solid midfielder that we inherited. He's grown to 79 overall during our tenure here, but I did say if a club meets that release clause when he signed that extension last season, I will let him go. In fact, it was back in season 1 when he signed it. So, yep, not going to stand in his way. He'll be worth a lot more than 35 million euros in the future, but Lazio, European side, last year won the Coppa Italia. I said, for bigger club than ours meets that release clause, I'll let him go. And as Oscar Dorley says, hey boss, I know people have been talking about the position you're playing me in, trying to say I'm ready to do whatever's necessary to make it successful. I'm happy to play as a left winger if that's part of your plan. And, well, to be honest, it was initially. You know, he scored on the opening day away against Lazio on his debut, so perfect start. And again, the plan really was for the Liberian international to transition to become a left-sided player. We gave him number 3, we started him there on the opening day, but now that Samardzic is going, maybe we'll just move him straight back into the middle, which is his natural position. I guess we will see. But along with the money we've got, which is 20 million euros, we should see our budget rise to, I'd say, yeah, around 50 million euros total as soon as that contract is agreed. And there it is. So Samardzic off to Lazio. Again, right now, it's a decent fee, but in a few years' time, it will look back as a big undersell for us where we could have got more. But I think realistically, it wouldn't be right to once again extend that contract, stand in his way from a move to a European side and last year's Coppa Italia winners. I'm totally fine letting him go, and now we can start rebuilding again. We certainly will need to reinvest with such a small squad now. I've only got 21 players in our first team. Let's dive into the first game of the season, first home game of the season, and our first game today. Newly promoted Cremonese, looking for our first win of the campaign. If we are to make Europe, these are the games that have got to be bankers. Forza Udinese. This has got to be a contender for thinnest squad I've ever started a campaign with. 21 players, granted, not starting the campaign, we just played our first game, but even so. Starting our home campaign. 21 players? That's ludicrous. As Luca, come to me, there we go. Oscar. Oh, what a ball. And it was, I was selling it to the post. And Cremonese will clear. I like Dorley on that left, man. I think that's where we're going to get the best out of him, man. Even though Samardzic is now gone, we could move him back into the middle. I still think left mid is where he'll be best as we get an injury there for Paras as well. That is the last thing we need with such a small squad. I think it would just be a bruise for the Austrian, but even so, I mentioned this in the season opener. If we were to have a couple of serious injuries this year, we might not even have enough to make a bench, which is embarrassing. But sure as Luca plays a lovely ball through to Dorley. And like I said, man, rating important, but how you feel using that player, far more important. Oscar Dorley, to me, should be on that left-hand side. And this man should get enough game time. The gash! First goal for Udinese since returning from Darmstadt. Profundi on the bench for fitness reasons, but this season, you might have noticed it, I've loaned out a lot of my youngsters. I haven't loaned out either of the Super Gash Bros. I think this guy's going to get a lot of game time, whether straight through the middle or CAM when Profundi needs a breather. Perfect start to his debut for us, 1-0. 20 minutes after the restart, still leading by 1, as we saw against Lazio. It's all well and good being in control, but if you don't take your chances, you don't score enough goals. You don't score enough goals, you don't win. If you don't win enough games, you don't finish top 7, as we found out last season. And so, got to make sure we don't throw this away here, which we may well have done so. 20 minutes to go, leveller for the newly promoted side. This is the biggest issue that we have, not turning enough points into victories. Oh no, come on, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Peg back. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, I said this year that I want to take that next step, and that means top 7. If you cannot beat a newly promoted side at home from a leading position, 0 chance, mate. 0 chance. Embarrassing. We'll have the 50 million euros to work with on deadline. Oh, please, please, please. Just finish this for me, Luca, because I need this. We'll have the 50 million euros to work with on this, what is deadline day, but we need some major investment, man, because this ain't going to cut it. Bailed out or not, this is not going to cut it. think for me, oh, hang on. Yes! When you talk about getting bailed out, that is the very definition. Goodness gracious me. That is one of the luckiest wins I have had in this year's FC. From a goal down with 7 to play to winning it with the final kick of the game. That is getting bailed out and then some. But I'll say it once again, it's not going to cut it. You do not get that luck over the course of a 38 game season. Maybe here and there, once or twice, but not all year long, man. Not all year long. That is so lucky, and my original point stands. We need some investment on deadline there, because that's embarrassing. What a let-off, honestly. What a let-off, as deadline day is here, and thankfully the Prass injury was just a bruise. But, I mean, no matter what happens, we've got to make some signings anyway, because, again, 21-man squad, which means that if we have more than 2 injuries, we'd only just be able to scrape a bench together. And I'm still surprised that no bids have come in for Bandy yet, but... yeah, no doubt about it. That means for sure, on the back of that performance, that lucky escape, we need. I'd say we need at least 2 signings on deadline day, possibly even 3 or 4. Settle in, pour yourself a coffee, because this is going to be a really busy one. And I have several names on the shortlist that I really want to bring in. But for me, one player that I'm really keen on is bringing in a player that I have used before. And I know in this year's FC, I am trying to make a point of signing players I haven't used before. But Samuel Ricky at Torino, like us, a side who are kind of battling for one of those European spots. But again, I have used them before. That's the thing. And I am trying my best this year to be better. I know so many of you guys wanted me to sign players that I hadn't used before or had barely used before. So with that being the case, I'll leave them in Turin. But there's a couple of other options as well that I haven't used before. Lucas Gorna-Duaf at Mönchengladbach. And also Keita in the Belgian Pro League. Never used either before. But I would say for this guy making the step up to a top 5 European league, there probably isn't a better time than now. So Mandela Keita, don't really know anything about him, but I love the stats. 87 stamina, 82 strength, 83 aggression. Looking for a tenacious midfielder with tons of energy and great defensive stats. That was a priority last season that we didn't have. This guy could plug that gap. I'll go for Mandela. Yeah, I noticed this last couple of FIFA years, if you will. I did get some comments saying, you know, you were signing the same sort of players. I remember there was one career mode I did, or I signed the exact same 3 players that I'd signed in a previous one in the summer window. And I get that, you know, sometimes it is a bit obvious what kind of players I'll go for. And the names that I would often choose. I mean, put it this way, how many times do you see me sign Callum Hudson-Odoi, Conor Gallagher, James Ward-Prowse? Would that being the case? They want Leopold. Absolutely no chance, guys. I'm happy to try players that I haven't used before. I think we shouldn't have to spend that much over the market valuation here. The only thing that hurts us is that it is deadline day. But instead, Leven is saying, no, we do want quite a lot of money for this guy. He's an important player. Let's go 27.5 to 29 mil. Something around that would do me fine. Okay, 27.5 mil. Granted, 4.5 million euros over the valuation. But because of his age, ability, and perceived potential, that's not a bad signing there. Yes, I think my days of signing Callum Hudson-Odoi and James Ward-Prowse have had to come to an end. With that being the case, it's time to use players that I've never used before, and this is one of them. Quite excited to give him a go as well. Coming in on a 5-year, 20 grand a week deal from the Belgian Pro League, making a step up to a top 5 European league. Quite excited to give him a go as well, and I think really he's the sort of player we need in this team with the energy, the strength, and also the tough tackling as well, considering how fragile we can be defensively through the middle of the park. Welcome to the Blue Energy Stadium. Mandela Keita, and again, 23 years old, Belgian, don't really know anything about him, but yeah, I like his stats, man. I really do. Possibly could see him also transitioning, maybe, with a good jumping as well, to RCB. He's 5'11", so again, he's not the smallest. Definitely could see that being a position change for him, but because of the CBs we've got, I think it's best just to keep him where he is right now. Yep, I'm happy with this. Very nice base stats. Good little pickup this. So that's one. Keita coming in. We'll drop Pereira to the Resis there. And I'd rather start him ahead of Lovric personally, then move Prass into that CM slot. So then we've got Pratty and Cater as natural DMs, even though to me Pratty is better as a CM personally, but that's just my opinion. But I think that should help defensively as well, because again, Samardzic wasn't the best defender, Lovric isn't the best defender, Pereira is not the best defender, but Cater can definitely help plug some gaps there. I still would like a backup striker, because I'm still surprised Banda is here, and possibly another backup midfielder. But outside the first 11, I'm happy with this team here. And so as we turn down this bid for the Gash from Jose Mourinho, 20 million euros in the budget right now, but to be honest, practically all of our transfer targets are out of our price range. Karabec, who I did want, has just moved on to Empoli. And Actor Koglu is the one I also really want. Serie B side Cagliari, but unfortunately they don't have enough depth in the position, so I can't negotiate with them. I don't really know what we're going to do here, you know. There's still plenty of time remaining on deadline day, but we like the targets I want are out of my price range, so I need to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. Otherwise, there's not going to be any more signings. I mean, I have been contemplating on the idea of bringing Zielinski back from Monaco, but the problem is Monaco are a Champions League side, so would he return now? Leave Monaco and come back to Udine now? With the money he's on, playing for a CL side? In a tax haven? I don't think so. And of course, what I also want to do is make sure we have some money remaining for when the January window comes round. And I'd like to leave a bit of money in the budget for next season as well. But I do need someone else. Oh my goodness gracious me. Now Milan putting in a bid for Pongracic. 25.3 mil. If this didn't come in on deadline day, I'd be happy to let him go. But Champions League side... The only thing about this is if we were to sell him, we could replace him and possibly bring in a couple others as well. But I often say this, if it's deadline day, there's only a few hours to go and you ain't got a replacement, it's best just not to sell. Don't gamble it. Well, I'm going to say to Stefano, listen, this dude's on a long-term deal. We've only got a few hours to go on deadline day. If you want him, you're going to have to pay through your nose to get him some, because that's the only way he's going to the San Siro. He's valued at 21 mil. I want over double that if you're going to get him, man. Seriously. Like, it's deadline day. It's not enough hours for me to find a replacement for him. So the only way I would agree to sell is if you meet a ridiculous asking price, especially because the board do skim a bit off the top as well. So I'm sticking to my guns here. I'll go down gradually, but I can't afford to lose him. If this came in midway through the window, fine, but not right now. Not right now. Then again, 43 million euros for the Pongracic is a really good deal, to be fair. It's over double the valuation. But again, the question is, can I replace him? Well, we'll see what Stefano says. No, 43 mil too high. And yeah, it's desperation mode, really. Like, they have to pay through the nose to get him, otherwise I can't afford to sell him. Right now, there's not enough time on the clock. Sassuolo want to bring in Edison from Atalanta. It's a long-term target of mine, but I ain't got that sort of money to work with right now. That might be it for deadline day. And it's annoying because I needed to sign, like, I'd say at least 2 players. I've only got the 1 so far. But again, the limited budget is really hurting me here. To be fair, there is a lad who was relegated with Cagliari and then moved on to Hellas Verona for last season and got relegated again. So maybe based on back-to-back relegations, not the sort of player I should be going for. But never used him before, and I do love his stats as well. Antoine Makumbu. Congo, medium high work rate, 6'2", and with the stats this guy's got, 90 stamina, the high defensive work rate, but also great ball control and a decent passer of the ball as well. Pure energy through the middle. Right now at Hellas Verona and available on a cheap-ish deal, on a cheap-ish wage. I'm going to bring him in. Why not, right? Someone else I've got no experience with whatsoever, but it'll be fun to give him a go. So we'll offer the asking price to begin with. And again, the good thing about this is knowing that if we do get him for around that, absolutely not. What are you smoking there in Verona? Are you having a laugh? Oh yeah, your Serie B side. Yeah, we'll give you a little bit of money, plus last year's assist title winner. Sure, why not? They've got to work on player swaps and make them more intelligent. But yeah, I don't think we'll have to spend that much over the valuation because they're now a Serie B side as well. So we've got 11.5 mil. Okay, they want a little bit more than that. But we'll go down to 12 million. Actually, no, let's go 12.5 million. I think that would be fair in this current climate, and they say they'll think about it, but we ain't got enough time for you to think about it. Mate, don't walk out the room. We ain't got enough time. You go back to Verona, it's not enough time to come back. We've got 3 hours. 3 hours. So we need him to do it on the next advance, otherwise he won't be coming in. And they've decided to decline it, but they've got down to 13.2 mil, but because it's not much more than what we just offered there, when that's the case, when a club comes back with a counter offer, if you notice it's around the same as the fee you just put in, the chances are you can get that fee accepted the next time they come back. It's 12.5 mil, and this time they'll say yes. So 12.5 mil, and I'm bringing him in. So just looking this guy up, he's got an interesting career path. He started in France, then he moves on to Germany, then he went to Slovenia, and now playing for Cagliari, but in the save moved on from them after their relegation to Hellas Verona, and then moving on from them after their relegation to Udinese. Excited to give him a go for the first time ever. Welcome to the Blue Energy Stadium, Antoine Makumbu. And again, I love the stats, I really do. At 27 years old, he's still got, I would say, 2 or 3 years worth of growth. No reason I can't get him to 80. And again, with the stats this guy's got, I could see him possibly playing as a backup for Festi on that right-hand side, or maybe just right through the heart of the middle because of the energy. Might not offer that much going forward, but with the great stamina this guy's got, high defensive work rate and 6'2" as well, I really like the look of him. Great handy pickup here. The one thing that's really stunned me throughout all of this is the fact that Banda is still here. We haven't had a single bid for Banda yet. He requested a transfer back in like March, I think it was, and we still haven't had an offer. So we filled out the squad a little bit more now. Worst comes to worst, we can always recall someone from loan. And now that our money is basically minuscule, to say the very least, well, to be fair, 8 million euros, you might be able to pick up someone for the squad, but really, with that sort of money, you're dealing with the lower end of sort of players you could bring in. I think we might leave it there for transfers. I think we'll be okay in terms of depth now because we've been very lucky, I must say. Touchwood, fingers crossed that maintains the same way. With very few injuries so far since the Savers began. I think we might leave the squad there. If we need to bring someone back, we've got various players out on loan. I think we'll leave it there on the back of 2 new signings on deadline day. Because there's only 2 hours to go. We might as well try a Hail Mary here. And the last thing we'll do, the very last thing we'll do, is go after the former Fiorentina striker. Right now at Freiburg, we got beef with Freiburg after last season. Christian Kouame, great physical striker, rapid, excellent jumping, reacts well, great attacking positioning. The finishing isn't bad either, and a good dribbler too. What I might do is just say to Freiburg, listen, we can probably get him for valuation because of his contract situation. Why don't you take Banda? We'll take Christian. We'll do a little switchy here, and really, that's the only way I can see this deal coming off because of our limited budget as well. So go £6 million plus our Zambian international. And they say yes, but they also want a bit too much money. That's a shame, that. That's the only way I could see us getting rid of Banda's contract after he asked for a transfer. But unfortunately, we don't have the money to give them exactly what they want as well. That's a shame. That would be a really good little switch there. 6.5 mil plus Lamech. Oh, okay, they've said yes, so maybe we might just about get this deal over the line here. The big question is, do we have enough for the contract? That's the problem. He's on a decent wage out in Germany right now. He wants crucial, but he's not going to be crucial, so the chances are he'll be here on a short-term deal. We'll give him 4 years anyway. But because of that squad role, which again, you can't change. When a player asks for a certain squad role, you've got to give them that or something better. Yeah, I think he'll be asking for probably more than he's got right now. So I'd say 30 grand a week. And we might just have enough for this deal to come off here. And it does indeed. Final signing of the window. Our third on deadline day. I wanted 3, I've got 3. But we have lost another in the process. But Lamech wanted to leave anyway. Couldn't find a suitor. In the end, I found one for him. Yes, I think that's what you call making the best of a bad situation. Couldn't find a buyer for Lamech, and thus his morale was continuing to drag the team down. But instead, sending him to Freiburg in exchange for a player that I had on my shortlist. Last year, we operated without a backup striker for Lorenzo for, well, half a year after the sale of Brenner, and we were okay. But if Luca was to go down, and we talked about it, we would be literally screwed with no player that could play as the spearhead. Christian certainly can, though. Really great stats, quick, great strength, and a decent finish on him as well. So welcome back to the Serie A and to the Blue Energy Stadium. Christian Kouame. Yep, pleased with this. Pleased can play him on the wing, but most importantly, as the out striker, and whilst he's taken the number 9 jersey and a crucial squad role, we know he'll still be coming off the bench to Lorenzo 3 years younger. So we'll keep him on balance. He'll still get into the early 80s. And again, maybe not the strongest of players, but very, very quick. Decent finish on him. And as a backup striker for Lorenzo, not really any better options out there for this price. I'll certainly take it. Although, of course, as we had to scrape the cents together to get this deal over the line alongside the other 2 we brought in as well. It does mean we've got no money at all now. No money at all. So we'll have just about enough to give Gash a new contract, which he definitely justifies now. But outside of that, we are done for new signings, that's for sure, on the back of 3 coming in on deadline day. I think Pongracic might leave in January, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So the top deals in the end were, wow, look at that. Victor Gyökeres going from Sporting Lisbon to Barcelona for just shy of 100 million euros. Dybala calls time in Rome and joins Arsenal for 71.9 million. Nicholas Jackson is off to Leipzig for 70.5 million pounds. That massive deal for the Swede there. That is a crazy transfer, but there you go. So deadline day over. I said we needed more quantity. We've got it. We've added a bit more quality as well. And I must say, I'm liking the team. I'm liking the team. Now, if we do have a few more injuries, we'll have enough to make a bench. That's the most important thing. And we didn't lose one of our star players in here with Pongracic staying. But again, I think come January time, if a big comes in, I'll let him go. And again, if it would have came in like 2 weeks before deadline day, I would have let him go. But on deadline day, come on, AC Milan, where were you? You had the whole of the summer window to work with, and you left it for the final few hours. What did you expect? And here we go as well. First 3 scouting updates of the season. Always fun when you get your first reports back. Do you find a gem right from the get-go, or do you need to show some patience? Well, to begin with, no one making it there, although... Oh, that's a tease on Stefano Rossi, but he could be alright. Jacopo Colombo. We'll continue scouting for now. And from Romania, Toma could be alright, so could Cristea, but those are the only 2 we'll continue scouting on just for now. Final one from Switzerland. It normally takes someone very special for me to give them a scholarship after 1 month's worth of scouting, especially the first month into a 9-month mission. Unless it's an absolute wonder kid, the chances are they're not going to get a scholarship straight off the bat. So we'll continue scouting on a few players, but no one making the academy yet. So for now, the only player remaining is a young Austrian called Tim Fritz with 88 to 94 potential. And as I've just given a contract to Sergi Gashi as well, now on 8 grand a week and definitely deserving it, growing so well with that potential to be special. Let's play a couple more games today, and we'll dive into our second one of today's episode, and our third of the season. It is Genoa away, going for back-to-back wins, as we'll give 2 debuts out to 2 of the 3 new signings. Forza Udinese. Got Kwame starting up top in this game as Lorenzo Luca takes a breather. And you know, because of that crucial squad role, again, chances are he won't be here for next season. But again, I say this, I know I say this all the time, I sound like a broken record, but when it's situation specific, I really don't mind it, you know, as Retegay fires Genoa in front and our defensive woes continue. Christian Kwame has signed a big contract, 4-year deal, and expects, after being given a number 9, to be a crucial squad player. He's not going to be happy sitting on the bench game after game. So in a case like this, it's totally fine. Like I said, it's the cases where a player comes in and they've been here for like 8 weeks. They haven't started your League Cup games. And they're like, that's it, I'm out of here. It's like, what, bro? Seriously? We literally only just scraped through against Cremonese on the opening day of a last-second winner. So coming here to a good Genoa side, very unlikely would follow on from that. And if you give gifts away like that, what do you expect? Trying to pass out from the back with Xhaka, giving it straight to Genoa on the edge. And to be fair, it's a class finish by Malinovsky, but even so, can't be doing that at this level, at any level really. Dear oh dear. I don't know. Top 7, I still think in this league with how competitive it is, it's a big ask. And don't get me wrong, sneaking into 7th, it's a chance, but it's a light chance. It's not a strong chance, but a slim chance. Because again, let's say that the top 7 teams all perform as expected, just like they did last year. All of them last year had good years. I'm talking the Milan boys, Juve, Roma, Lazio, Napoli. That's the top 7 right there. And then you know that one team is always going to have a decent year and a better year than normal. Last year it was Torino. So that's 8 teams you've got there as Festi fires wide and the misery continues. And the chances are someone else might have a good year too. Maybe, maybe not, but still worth considering. I mean, that's a lot of teams to compete with when you're going through a transition, man. That's a lot of teams to be better than over the course of a 38-game season. Very difficult ask. And this is going to be free. Great save by Gashi and the rebound cleared. Such a tough game out there. It's going to be free. It's going to be free. I should have sold Pogba. I should have just cashed in. He's not going to make the difference between us being top 7 or top 10. I should have just cashed in. My defense is that bad. It doesn't matter who I play there, honestly. Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. What a miserable, miserable afternoon. Simone Profundi, give us a consolation. Blocked Ebosele's head out over. Dear oh dear. It's a cracking ball. Profundi that to Ebosele. But today we've just missed too many chances. We missed another one with basically the final attack of the game. That is just the story of this game, man. It's not been as one-sided as the scoreline suggests, but if you don't take your chances, you will get punished. How often do we say that? Somehow didn't get a single goal. And because of how weak our defenses is, you can't afford not to score, because the chances are we're not going to keep a clean sheet. That is a pathetic performance on both ends. Carved open defensively and couldn't finish a happy meal. There is no way I'm ending on that. I'm playing at least one more today, that's for sure. Yes, 1 win in our first 3 games and 5 goals conceded in our last 2. It might be early, but alarm bells are already starting to ring, and they certainly will be ringing loudly if we can't return to winning ways here. Torino, who last year finished above us, falls Udinese. Like I said in that Genoa game, there's going to be a team like this. There's going to be a team like Torino who are going for one of those top 7 places. I think I missed Atalanta off the list, by the way, when I was talking about the good teams to face here in the Serie. So yeah, another team, as if there weren't enough, another team that we know would have to be better than, possibly, in order to get a European spot. Ebosele's on there. He's on. Timed his run perfectly. Denied at the near post. And unfortunately, because of our defensive woes again, when you get a chance like that, you got to finish it. 8 minutes in, good start, but needing that opening goal. As we're still behind, still tied even. It won't be long before we are behind. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! If you're going to score your first goal for your new club, make it a memorable one. Mandela Keita received that message. What a goal by our new number 6 coming in. As the Belgian bends one into the top corner. That's an absolute beaut, that. What a goal. I was planning on doing 4 games today, but based on our form to start the season off, we do win this. I don't want to jinx it. I want to end. You know I like to end on a win, so I don't want to jinx it. Pratti, lovely ball through. Profundi takes it in his stride. There's Lorenzo Luca! Udinese, 2-0 up, and surely returning to winning ways. It's going to be yours, Makumbu, off the bench. Nice ball through. And we get a 3rd goal late as well. Really nice to play counter-attack this. Zamura out wide. Great, great counter. The question is, can we finish it? Yes, we can. Icing on the cake in our best performance of the season thus far. Jordan Zamura, the English-born Zimbabwean, wraps it up. 3-0 Udinese. And whilst I certainly don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, it's actually been a pretty solid start, all things considered. 2 wins in our first 4 games, a solid draw at the Stadio Olimpico as well, and even that big loss to Genoa, the scoreline was deceptive as well. We weren't as bad as 3-0 suggested, but these are the games we do need to win if we are to be a top 7 team like Torino were last year. Great way to close today's episode. I'm not jinxing it and gambling it and possibly playing enough on and losing 2-0. So that'll do it for today's episode of the Serie A Career. Guys, big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Most of you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode where we'll play part 1 of a 2-part sloggy season, aiming to go on a run and be in a top 7 place around mid-November time. That would be perfect for us. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.